Hey Courtney, here is your personalized video that goes over everything that we went over during your one-on-one private eyeshadow lesson. I hope that this helps you be able to learn each step correctly and be able to implement it into your day-to-day makeup and your date night makeup. I hope that you feel beautiful and confident when doing these things, and thank you again for choosing me to help you on your makeup navigation journey. Without further ado, let's get started. So we're going to start with our CC cream, and we're just using a small dab of that to place down on our eyelid. This is going to act as a base to hold our eyeshadow on so that our makeup stays exactly where we want it and it lasts for the duration of the day. Starting off with our brow pencil, we need to brush our eyebrows. We want to brush them in the direction that they grow naturally. Eyebrows are just like hair, and unfortunately they do get knotted. Then we're going to go in and we are going to fill them in. Remember, our eyebrows lose hair as we age. It is normal with our hormonal changes. We want to make sure that our eyebrows are still defined. Mapping them out the way I just showed you, you want to just go in, do a soft line at the bottom of your lash line just to give that definition, and then go in with a light hand and using short feather-like strokes, small dashes at a time, fill in the areas that are a little bit more sparse. I find it's easier to start at the end of your brow and work your way in because your hand will naturally lighten up. If you're finding that you're pushing too hard, just move your hand down on the on the pencil so that you will use a softer stroke. Once your brows are filled in, go in with your spoolie and just brush them again, focusing on the front part of the brow. This is going to soften up the color and the brush strokes so your brows look more natural. Now, if you would like a less defined eyebrow, more of an everyday eyebrow, skip the line underneath and just use the pencil and short soft strokes to fill in any area that is sparse. This would be the result. And this is the result with the definition. Now let's get into our eyeshadow. We're using the Neutral Mirage palette and a fluffy crease brush. This brush is fluffy, which means it will help to lay down and diffuse color. You want to utilize it by holding it at the end of the brush to have soft strokes to ensure that you place the color down evenly. We're going to start off with the color in our crease, and that could be any one of these neutral shades that I'm pointing to here. Let's start in with this medium tone middle one. Make sure to tap off the excess of the brush, and then we're going to apply it right into our crease using this, what is called a window wiper motion. Go back and forth with that until you have even color, and then go over to the next side, and we're going to do the exact same thing. This is a window wiper motion, just back and forth from the inner corner to the outer corner of the eye in the natural crease. Once we have that color laid down and evenly dispersed, we want to go ahead with the diffusing, and what we're going to do is do small circular motions around the edge of that crease to soften out the line. Now, if you have hooded eyes, which you do, you want to make sure that everyone can see the color that you have put on your eyes. So with your eyes open, take the same color and just apply it just above your crease. You want to do a concentration of that on the outer corner of your eye up towards your eyebrow. This is going to ensure that people can see your eyeshadow. It's also going to make your eyes look a lot more wider and as if you have more eye space than you actually do. Next, we're gonna do the same, but we're gonna go in with one of these lighter colors and a flat packing brush. Now, when we're using this brush, we're using the side of the brush, not the top of the brush, the side of the brush. So pick up the color on the side of the brush, and we are going to pat that directly onto our eyelid from the lash line to the crease, from the inner corner to the outer corner. You can see that this color placement is actually just the opposite of what you have been doing. This is just what's going to change and give some brightness and proper definition to your eye. So again, we're picking up on the side of the brush, we're tapping that on the eyelid from the lash line to the crease, from the inner corner to the outer corner. For some additional brightness, because this palette has the white, utilize the white just in the front corner of your eye. This is going to give a very youthful appearance.
Teddy bear on my bed had shifted into a completely different position and was now facing me. These strange experiences.
Now we're gonna move into our darker shades. These are medium tone shades, and it could be any one of the ones I just pointed to. We're gonna put that right on the outside corner of our eye. So from our pupil to our outer corner, that little white area, that's where we want to apply the color. We're putting it in a V motion right from the lash line up into our natural crease. Now this color, you can build it up or have it be as light as you like. I recommend starting with a soft hand and building up the color. It is easier to add than take away. Once you're happy with how the color looks, we can move on to our liner. We can choose any one of these darker colors to utilize as our liner. Now we're going to use this brush and place the color on either side of the brush instead of pushing it on the top. So we're holding our brushes on the side and putting it on each side. Put it on the back of your hand to get rid of the color that you don't need, and now you're going to stamp it on your lash line. So just press into the lash line, move over, press, move over. Do this for the entirety of your lash line to give yourself a very smooth liner. This works so much nicer than using a liquid liner or a pencil because it doesn't require you to drag your eye or to have a steady hand. You can just push it in and diffuse it as you need it. Once you get back to the end of your eyeliner and you want to add a little bit of a wing, just go ahead and flip that brush so the long end is facing outwards, and you can dab in a little bit of a wing liner. Because you have hooded eyes, ensure that you do not go past the natural crease and the natural fold in your eye when your eye is open. You can make this line as thick or as thin as you want, as dark or as light. Now we're going back with our CC cream and just using a very small amount again on our finger. We're going to brighten our under eyes, okay? So put that color right down wherever you have some darkness that you want to cover up, and lightly tap that in until it is all absorbed and you don't see those harsh lines. Now, if you want, you can use a setting spray and a blending bud to blend that in, but if you want to use less tools, you can go ahead and use your God-given one, your fingers. This is going to brighten your under eyes and make you look a little bit more awake and alive, or youthful, I should say. Make you look more youthful. When doing our eyeshadow, is so important that what goes up must come down. So take your small brush and just lightly dust whatever color is left on the brush on your lower lash line. Make sure to go from the outer corner to just the middle where your pupil is and not further. We don't want to close off the eyelids. Lastly, we're moving into our mascara, and now we're going with our eyelash curler. Grab the lashes, squeeze and pulse for for about 30 seconds. At 30 seconds, you're going to hold the curl down and slightly lift the end of the wand up so that your lashes get the most curl and definition. Then you can go in with your mascara. Take your mascara and you're going to place that right on the bottom of your lashes, right at the base, and concentrate on putting all the product there. Once the product is completely on every single tiny lash that you have, go ahead and slowly wiggle that wand upwards to give yourself length. This is moving the product from the base of your lash and all the way up to ensure that we've coated every small hair and to give you the most volume and length. Once you're happy with the way that that is on, you can be done. Or if you want to go with a little bit more glam, you can take the wand, put it up against your lashes, and just blink on the edge. This is going to give you a little bit more length and volume on one side to give you that wispy appearance.